Good morning and thanks for coming today. If I had to pick a place in Jogga County or any other county that would have a high concentration of narcotic users, it would be the county jail. On Monday, January 26th, at 9:35 p.m., corrections officers were alerted to a cell block for a male inmate having what was believed at that time to be a seizure. Corrections officers responded, found the male unconscious and not breathing in the bathroom area in the cell block. They immediately began life-saving measures, notifying EMS and securing more help. The inmate was taken to the hospital by the Munson EMS, Munson Fire Department. Law enforcement deputies began an investigation. They came to learn that fentanyl, heroin, had been smuggled into our jail. In this particular case, the fentanyl was smuggled in through underwear that's allowed to be brought to inmates by taking seams apart, putting fentanyl, heroin into a seam, and then restitching. To give you an idea of the quantity that we're talking about, if you were to take a third of a thimble full, that would be a large quantity. You're probably looking at about half the size of a pencil eraser in quantity of product. They began an investigation into who else was involved. We were able to learn that a Chesterland female had been involved in the process of smuggling it in. Narcotic agents, deputies from the sheriff's office have arrested Idana Laskowski, a 31-year-old female, from 12956 Opelika Drive in Chesterland, and charged her with illegal conveyance of drugs. Part of that investigation included the execution of a search warrant at that residence. Besides additional heroin, fentanyl being recovered and some drug abuse instruments, the detectives were able to identify the source of the narcotics, and at that stage set up a buy from the supplier. The inmate, a 45-year-old male, was here serving 170 days on a failure to appear misdemeanor charge. He's a Menor resident. At this time, we're not releasing his name or where he's currently at for security purposes, but he is expected to make a full recovery and be returned to the jail shortly. This time I'd like the Chief Deputy, Scott Hildenbrand, to talk to you about the events that occurred after we identified who the pusher was. Scott?
As the investigation progressed, the narcotics unit set up a buy over in Chesterland at the Chesterland McDonald's at about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. As the purchase of more fentanyl went down and the detectives attempted to block the escape of the suspect, they pulled their vehicle in front of him so he could not leave McDonald's, but he elected to try to leave anyway, striking one of our vehicles, pushing it, damaging it, and got out onto 322. At that point, the Chester police and our detectives followed him westbound on 322. There were 3 people in the car, 2 adults and a juvenile. They were trying to get back westbound, and in the area of Gates Mills Hill, they went off to the right side of the road, hit the curb, and damaged the car to the point that they could not drive it anymore. The car became disabled, and all 3 of them fled up the hill from the car. Our detectives, along with assistance from Gates Mills Police and the Mayfield Heights Police Department, pursued these 3 individuals into the woods for approximately a half a mile, and then apprehended them and arrested them and brought them back to the jail. They were charged with trafficking in heroin, and the juvenile was taken to the Portage Juvenile Detention Center. The driver, Jesse Green, 18-year-old male from East Cleveland, and Antonio Washington was the other passenger from East Cleveland, and the juvenile we're not going to name.